Hello, Princess on a Pill here. I am here to do a review slash recap with my opinion on Married at First Sight Season 18, Episode 12. It's titled, I Just Want to Eat You Up. This was a very emotional episode. They had to write letters to their childhood self. Let's get started. We're going to start with the most boring couple. Usually I go how the episode is filmed or shown, but I'm going to go start with the most boring couple. And guess who the most boring couple was? The most boring couple, Camille and Thomas. Let's get started. Camille took Thomas to see her grandmother, father, and uncle. They busted out her scrapbook that showed all of Camille's great moments as a teen playing basketball. Next, Thomas took Camille to meet his biological mother. I'm not going to talk about all the little ins and outs and all the little things they said. I'm just going to talk about what I thought was interesting. Okay? So then next, Thomas took Camille to meet his biological mother. He told Camille that his bio mother is a party animal. When they got to her house, the mother cooked and they did shots. The mother told her story of how she gave up Thomas and his twin for adoption because she just was not able to take care of them on her own. She then said she regretted giving them up. But Thomas doesn't have any hard feelings about it because he knew he grew up in a nice home with a good family. But I would like to hear more about his biological father. Did he try to find his father? Does he want to know who his biological father is? I wonder if he already knows. I want to know more about that. That was Camille and Thomas. Next up, the next boring couple. Guess. Carla and Juan. They go to a cafe to write their letters to their childish self. Carla read her letter and she said she used to be reserved and cold because growing up, girls weren't nice to her. She said one day she just snapped out of it and decided to just be herself. So she started to hug trees. She started to skip down the street. She started to do hula hoop and jump ropes. Those are the things I like to do. I have a jump rope. I have hula hoop. She said she just started doing things that she enjoyed doing. And that makes her feel connected to her inner child. Juan read his letter. He got very emotional because he wrote about his parents leaving him when he was 6 months old and when he was 6 to come to the States to make a better life for him. And I can relate to that because my parents did that. They left me and my sister in Jamaica and they came to the States because they wanted to make a better life for us. They came back and got us and brought us back to the States. So I can relate to him. And because when you're a child and your parents leave, you don't understand why. But now as an adult, I understand why. But your childish self is still hurt, It still feels some type of way. So I understand, his emotions. So he wrote about coming to the States and facing poverty and having to learn a new language. He wrote, and that should be devastating to a child, right? Yeah. He wrote about when he was 16 and his father was diagnosed with prostate cancer. The letter he wrote was good, and he cried. When he read the letter, he cried from beginning to end. And when he was finished, Carla gave him a hug. He said the only thing he would change about his growing up is his attitude. And I can understand that because as a teenager, you have attitude for no reason at all. Carla told him she was proud of him for overcoming everything, and she thanked him for being vulnerable with her. Next, they are at the apartment, and Carla told Juan that she is ready to introduce him to her parents. Juan is excited. He's ready to meet the parents. So they did go to see the parents, but they didn't film it because the parents don't want to be filmed, and I don't blame them. So we didn't see Juan meeting the parents. But after they met the parents, Juan had nothing but wonderful things to say about Carla's parents. He said her father was cool and the mother was a fabulous cook. So next they hung out with more of Carla's family. I think they were mostly her cousins. They both talked about how well they're getting along with each other. And then the one of the cousins asked Juan if he is touchy-feely, and he said no. And they asked that because they know Carla is touchy-feely. I guess that's her love language, to be touched and hugged and kissed and shown affection. And that's just not Juan. Juan says no, he's not doing that. Juan says there's more important things to a relationship than the physical. And Carla is sitting there mum. She's not saying a word because she doesn't agree with what Juan is saying, because she feels differently. She wants to be hugged and touched and caressed and kissed, and she wants that affection, that touchy-feely affection. So next up, Madison and Alan. Again, they go do something that Madison likes to do. They go to a baseball field to throw around the baseball, to play catch with each other. Madison told Alan that she was bullied when she was in school, so she ended up switching school, and that's when she switched school, that's when she got involved into playing softball. And poor Alan, she's throwing the ball to him, and he can't catch that ball. He's not a ball person. Me either. I don't play ball. I don't play any ball games. I don't like ball games. I just don't play them. That's just not me. And he's horrible at catching the poor ball. He can't catch the ball. So then after that, they sit down to talk, and Madison told him that when she was growing up, they were poor and she was on food stamps. She said how her mother showed up at her 12-year-old birthday party with the boyfriend and made a fool of herself. Alan told her that she would be a better mother than her mother was to her. But Madison doesn't think she'll be a better mother. Madison thinks that she will disappoint her kids. But Alan reassures her that she'd be a good mother. He reassures her that she'll be a good mother. He told her that he is confident that she'd be a good mother. Madison told him that she feels comfortable talking to him and she wants the marriage to work. Yeah, right. She don't want that marriage to work. She told him she liked him as a person, but she doesn't like him romantically. Next, they go fishing. Finally, something Alan enjoys doing. Alan taught her how to cast the line, and he talked about fishing with his father. He talked about his parents splitting up, getting back together, and splitting up again. I think he said they got back together because the mother found out she was pregnant with him. I think the way I understood it, their parents were dating, they were seeing each other, they broke up. When she found out she was pregnant with Alan, they got back together to try to make it work. And then when they realized they couldn't make it work, they broke up again. So that's how I understood what he was saying. So he talked about his parents splitting up and getting back together again. He talked about how badly they talked about each other to him. So the mother would talk badly about his father to Alan, and the father would talk badly about the mother to Alan. That's traumatizing. They shouldn't have done that. So Madison peeped that Alan grew up in a chaotic environment and that his past relationships were chaotic as well. Alan told Madison that when he was 16 to 19, he was in a long-distance relationship. He said he connected with this person because they shared trauma. He said the girlfriend told him that she cheated on him with 15 guys. 15 guys. Oh, Alan, your ex was a slut. She was a slut. Alan got very emotional talking about his family trauma. Madison liked that Alan was vulnerable with her, and she feels like she understands him a little bit better. And she gave him a hug for the first time, because I've never seen her hug him. After the wedding, I never saw her hug him after that, but she gave him a hug. And Alan caught a little feel. When he hugged her, he picked her up and kind of, let his hands wander to her buttocks a little bit. I think he did. I like my Alan. I love my Alan. So next they're at some outdoor cafe. I think that's where they were. And Alan read his letter that he wrote to his child self. And I liked his letter. He talked about how awesome a person he is. He said he had no self-confidence when he was a teen because he had a lot of inner trauma. Madison asked him about his masculinity. Why did she ask him about his masculinity? What does masculinity got to do with anything? He told her that he grew up around a bunch of females, so he was very sensitive. But I just don't understand why she asked him about his masculinity. I think a man that can remodel his entire kitchen all on his own is extremely masculine, okay? A man doesn't have to go to the gym every single day and have bulging biceps to be considered masculine, Madison. So then Madison then read her letter. She wrote about her grandmother who passed away from being in a car accident. She told Alan that her grandmother raised her because her mother was not around to raise her. Alan told her that he wished that her and him had the relationship that her loving relationship that her grandparents had, because her grandparents raised her because her mother wasn't around to raise her and her father worked a lot, so she ended up being raised by her grandparents. And Alan told her that he wished that him and her had the loving relationship that her grandparents had. He said they're both trying to make this marriage work, but it shouldn't be this hard. And I agree 100%. It shouldn't be this hard for them to make their marriage work. Next up, we have MM and Ikechi. Ikechi did a video cam and said he does not want to move back in with MM because he wants his peace. Then we see him and his friend Isaiah, I think it was Isaiah. They went to the gym to practice boxing. Ikechi told Isaiah that he is trying to show MM he's trying to show MM who he is, but she keeps asking him a bunch of questions. He said MM needs an explanation for everything. Isaiah told him that, maybe she's trying to get to know you. That's why she's asking a bunch of questions. Duh. Ikechi told Isaiah that MM is too aggressive. Here he goes again, calling the woman aggressive. Ikechi told Isaiah that MM blew up at dinner, and that's why he blew up at the couple's dinner, and that's why he left. That's a lie. That's not why he left, because if he left because she blew up at him, he would have left when she blew up at him. No, he left after she went to the bathroom, calmed down, and came back. That's when he left. Such a liar. I don't like liars like that. You don't blatantly lie when we're watching the actual show. We see that you're a liar. He told Isaiah that he is very uncomfortable being around MM. He claimed he has to get to know her, but he doesn't think that moving back in is going to help. MM and her friend Tiffany took MM's dog for a bath. MM told Tiffany that she is trying to navigate through Ikechi's disrespect and that he doesn't know how to communicate well. MM told Tiffany that Ikechi called her an asshole. Then he told everybody that she treats him like shit. She told Tiffany that they agreed to move back in together, but Ikechi has not called or texted her. She said she wants him to ease his way back into the apartment. She doesn't want him to move back in either. She claims she wants to take it slow, and she wants him to put effort into getting to know her. So next, Ikechi they met up at the apartment, and Ikechi told her that he wants to take a step back and so that they can get to know each other. MM agreed. Ikechi told her that he is not comfortable being in the apartment with her. MM told him that the ball is in his court, and she wants to see him put in effort towards communication. He told her that he was reaching out to her to see if she was good. She said, no, you weren't. I was reaching out to you to see if you were good. He told her that he's not going to talk about it. She told him that they have to talk about it. He said, no, we don't. She told him he is being dismissive, and that hurts her feelings. Ikechi told her that I apologize if that hurts your feelings. She said, I just told you it hurt my feelings, not if it hurt my feelings. I'm telling you it hurts my feelings. He said, you want me to respond to things when you want me to respond to things. Ikechi cannot take responsibility for anything, and I think he's just delusional. She's telling you, you hurt my feelings, and he wants to apologize to her, but he doesn't know how. He wants to he wants to escape it by saying, well, if it hurt your feelings, I'm sorry. No, it's not if. She told you it did hurt her feelings, asshole. He then goes on some rant about needing time and space. And I would like to hear from Ikeche's father and why he kicked him out at age 16. And Mem said him needing time and space whenever he needs it is not beneficial to their relationship. Ikeche wants to sweep everything under the rug. He wants to sweep his bad behavior under the rug because he doesn't want to be held accountable for it, for his bad behavior. MM told him that if he does not reach out to her, then there will be no communication between them because she's leaving it up to him to communicate. Ikeche said, okay. And she told him he seems defensive. He said, I am defensive. Did Ikeche say he was in a relationship for 10 or 12 years with somebody? I want to know, who is this angel he was in this 10 to 12 relationship with? Because for somebody to be in a relationship with him, they have to be an angel. I would like to hear from this, the girl he was in a relationship with or who he was engaged to, because I think he said he was engaged before. I would like to hear from his father and from his ex-girlfriend on the type of person he was. Last but not least, we have Michelle and David. They are on their way to meet up with Michelle's family. On the drive there, Michelle asked David about a text message she received from him. The text message said, "You are so damn fine, I just want to eat you up." David said he texted his cousin because he wanted to eat her food. Really, David? Really? When they get to her family's house, they sat down to eat and talk, and Michelle told her family that she is not attracted to David, and she's having a hard time of it. Her friend told David that once you get to know Michelle and she feels comfortable around you, you'll see a different Michelle. Wait a minute, so there's two Michelles? There's this Michelle and there's another Michelle? Oh my God. Michelle's mother, she has some big old horrible bags under her eyes. Don't she get any rest? Don't she get any sleep? Girl, lady, you need a vacation or something. So next, Michelle went out with her friend, and she told her friend about the eat you up text message that David accidentally sent to her, and Michelle think he was sexting someone. Her friend told her to go ahead and call him out. Get to the bottom of it. See what the hell is going on. And Michelle plans on doing it. So next, they are in the apartment together. Michelle and David are in the apartment together. And Michelle asked him to explain to her again what the text message was all about. David said his cousin Denise sent him a photo of food, and he meant to text, "It looks so good, I want to eat it up." That's what he said he meant to text. So he texted wrong. His text words were wrong, and he sent it to the wrong person. Was he drunk? Michelle said to him, "That's weird." David said that's how him and his family talk to each other. Michelle asked him if she can see the photo of this food. He said he ain't got no photo. He pulled out his phone and tried to scroll through like he was going to show her a photo. But he don't have no photo. So she is questioning him about everything. She wants to know what the food looked like. What was his cousin wearing? Was there utensils? What the plate looked like? The color of the plate. David can't answer none of these questions because there was no photo. David can't describe the photo, anything in the photo to her because there was no photo. So she asked him if he had texted other girls during the marriage. David said yes. David said yes, he has texted other women. He said he texted Danielle, who he got coffee for that very morning. Michelle said, "Who's Danielle?" David said Danielle is a girl he dated on Tinder. Michelle said, "Anything else I need to know?" David started rattling off these names. He said, "Yep, I text Jackie, that's my bestie." He said, "I text Roxy, that's another girl I met on Tinder." Michelle told him that that's not okay. David said, "Well, I don't know. You didn't tell me I couldn't text other girls." Michelle said, "I assume it's something you should already know." He said, "There you go, assuming again." David's crazy. David said he is friends with his exes, and what's the problem in that? Michelle said, "The problem is we are married." So then David apologized. And Michelle told him that married people don't go out on dates and they don't sex other women. David said he wasn't sexing other women and he wasn't going on any dates with anybody. He told her they are not going to talk about this anymore. And Oh, he told her that they're not going to get anywhere with this because she keeps harping on it. She said, I'm not harping on it. She said, my feelings are hurt. But she didn't look like her feelings were hurt to me. I don't think her feelings were hurt. I don't think she gives a shit. I just think she just wants to call him out. He said he would never cheat on her. He respects her too much to cheat on her or to do this to her. And Michelle told him that she does not believe him. And David said, whatever. Then he said he doesn't want to talk about it anymore. And then Michelle called him a liar and got up and walked off. And that was the end of the episode. I hope next week we find out who he was sexting. I hope. So that was the end of the episode. This is the end of my review. Thank you so very much for watching. Princess on a Pillow here. Bye.